Well, good morning or good afternoon, everyone, whichever the case may be. If you're on the East Coast, obviously that's afternoon. I want to welcome everyone to today's webinar, Maximize Every Marketing Dollar Spent, Lead Management Best Practices. This is a special webinar today with Dexter and Cheney and our technology partner, Top Builder Solutions. I am Andy Holtman with Dexter and Cheney. In just a few moments, I'm going to turn things over to Eric Cofield with Top Builder. But as folks are still kind of trickling in this morning, I just want to take a few seconds to go over some quick housekeeping tips. If this is your first time using the GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar panel, you might notice the little navigation bar on the right-hand side of your screen. This is how you interact with us today during the webinar. You might see a little orange arrow there. This is how you can expand or hide the navigation bar to your liking. But you also find a number of different options within that panel where you can interact with us, adjust the settings, and more. One thing you might notice is that you are muted today. We do have a good number of people on the webinar this morning, and we mute attendees just to make sure there's no background noise or nobody can hear anything in the background. Like I said before, we do have a comment and question area, so if you have a question or a comment during the webinar, please go ahead and type that into that little box there, and we'll do our very best to answer questions. If we can't get to it by the end of the webinar, we will most certainly follow up with folks after the webinar is complete. Now, we are going to be doing a kind of a short presentation here today, about a 30-minute presentation, and I believe we might have an opportunity to leave it open for a quick overview demo at the end of that. We are also recording the webinar today, so if you would like a copy of that recording after the webinar is complete, let us know, and we'll follow up with folks in the next couple of days as well. So just a couple words about Dexter and Cheney for anybody that might not know. We are a construction software company specializing in business management and operations solutions. We began way back in 1981, being the first to bring accounting software to the construction industry. So we've been around for more than 35 years now. Today, we are the leader in cloud-based construction ERP software. Our Spectrum construction software is a full suite accounting, business management, project management, equipment management, and service management solution. And you can access it wherever you issue. We are fully in the cloud, and you can have access to your data wherever your jobs are. Now, over the past few years, Dexter & Cheney has continued to expand its technology presence by partnering with a number of different companies like Top Builder, who are experts in their areas of functionality. And Eric might touch a little bit on our partnership with our company a little bit later, but with these things and webinars like you're on today, this gives us and our clients and our prospects even more options and makes Spectrum a truly complete construction management solution. Like I said, we also partner with a number of different industry associations and organizations to bring a host of educational resources to the industry as well, including webinars like you're on today, white papers, videos, blogs, podcasts, and a whole lot more. And you can find these by visiting our website at www.dextercheney.com. Now I'm going to turn things over to Eric Cofield. Eric is a construction industry software strategist with Top Builder Solutions, and he's going to discuss some of the best practices in lead management today. And at the end of his presentation, like I said earlier, we'll probably be inviting some folks to stay for a quick overview demo of Top Builder's own solution and how it might be able to help you manage your leads and sales prospects, turn them into repeat customers as well. So Eric, with that, sir, let me go ahead and turn things over to you and let you take us through kind of the best practices of lead management and how to maximize your marketing dollars today.
Great. Thank you, Andy. Thanks very much. The sound went a little bit wonky there, so I hope everyone can hear everything okay. And you're looking at my screen.
Eric, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Andy? I'm here. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, the sound went a little wonky there.
Sir.
All right. So let's move forward. And Andy, you can see my screen correctly? Andy?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to move forward. Hopefully the sound is okay. My name is Eric.
I can hear you.
Okay. The email to reach me is right here. We've got a lot of content today. you'll be seeing a lot of content on the slides, but if you want a Microsoft Word companion document, which has even more detail, you can email me for that. And we also have a really cool return on investment tool. And this is relevant educational content. It's not a sales presentation. We're talking about lead management best practices, and you can use the information in this today. So let's move forward. Andy, we've got a couple of questions, and I thought I'd ask Andy to pull up question number 1 there. Ultimately, the CRM system or lead management, managing leads, getting leads, nurturing leads, all of that is all about money, right?
Absolutely. So we're going to have a...
Okay. So we're going to bring up the first question, which is, how well you'd say your company handles lead management. But on the screen, as Andy's doing that,
absolutely.
Here are the things.
We're going to go ahead.
Pardon me? Andy, it sounds like you're having some sound problems on your side.
So folks, it looks like we might be having a little bit of sound difficulties here. I'm going to go ahead and launch the first poll question.
Okay, that's great.
Let's see if we can figure this out here. Okay.
We can move forward.
Folks, we're trying to fix the audio we're having here. Hey, Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It seems like there's a delay on the sound. Is that correct?
Not from my end. I hear you fine.
I'm asking questions pretty far in advance, and it's taking a while for them to get answered. So there might be some weird delay we're experiencing here. This could be an issue through our GoToWebinar panel here. Looks like some folks might have some questions here, might be able to help us out. Sounds like there's a lot of background noise. Okay. All right. Well, let's try to continue here and see if this gets any better. I'm going to go ahead and launch the first poll question that Eric had, and then we'll go ahead and try this here. So the first poll question, I'm launching now. The poll is open. How well would you say your company handles lead management? Is that extremely well, well enough to gain some new business, so-so, or poorly, or not at all? So there's 4 choices there. Folks, go ahead and select one best applies to your business, and it looks like folks are voting right now. And we'll leave this open for about another 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. If you haven't voted, get your vote in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're going to close this poll. And I'll share the results out with everybody so everybody can see. So it looks like 13% of folks say it's handled extremely well. 50% of folks say well enough to gain some new business. 25% say it's handled so-so, and 13% say it's handled poorly or not at all. So Eric, did you get those results, sir?
Yeah, that's great. So that's very typical. A few companies on the top do a great job, and a few companies on the bottom do a really bad job, and mostly everyone is in the middle. But with a few simple steps that we're going to go through today, you're going to be able to do a better job of getting leads, managing leads, nurturing those leads, and then most importantly, closing those leads. So obviously, the best time is now. Whether we're talking about getting more leads or getting new customers, we all want it right now. Actually, technically, the best time was yesterday or last year or 20 years ago. But from this point forward, the best time is now. So we're going to make some assumptions and talk about what some of the experts know. They know that a CRM system is an investment where you should be able to qualify your return on investment. And CRM experts know that the software is always inexpensive compared to what the extraordinary benefits for you are. Now, We also know that the CRM system is just part of your sales department. You've got to have people managing it and moving it forward and a whole workflow in place, but we're going to talk more about how easy that is to get in place as well. And of course, every company has to get needs in some way or another. What companies don't realize, they focus on sales and they focus on selling widgets or services or whatever, but the truth is your company is much better positioned if you are a resource that happens to sell whatever products or services you sell. So I want to go quickly. We only have 30 minutes. So you know you've got that email and you'll see it again. Contact me for more in-depth questions. Contact me for a Microsoft Word document with a lot more detail on it. But if you were out there looking for customer relationship management software, there are some things that it just must have to do or have. Now, of course, first of all, you've got to be able to use it. So number two, easy, effective, and affordable is really a trick because that's three things. But if it's not all three of those things, your staff aren't going to use it very well, and then you're not going to get that extreme ROI from it. It also has to have a bunch of ways for you to communicate, not only individual emails, but automated emails and follow-up campaigns. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. And really, it has to be unlimited. You don't want the software to limit you, the company. Now, one company might send out 20,000 emails, and another one might send out 200,000 emails a month. It doesn't matter. Maybe there's a charge for it, maybe there's not, and you should know what those charges are. The point is you don't want the system to limit you. And then it has to have reporting. Most assuredly, it has to be able to give you some custom reports because every company I've ever dealt with has some particular need that they want to see a custom report on. And then, of course, when you get a CRM system, if you go out to those large non-industry specific systems, they're not going to have your business processes in mind. So if you go with an industry specific system, you'll have business best practices rolled into the training. Now, let's go ahead and run question number 2 there, Andy, if you would.
Absolutely.
It won't take very long.
Folks, we're going to go ahead and launch question 2 now. Do you currently use a CRM or lead management software system? So this poll is open now. Is it yes, no, but we're tracking leads with spreadsheets or other forms, or no, and we're not really managing or tracking sales leads at all? So folks are voting right now. We got about 78% in. We'll leave it open for a few more seconds here. If you haven't voted, go ahead and get your vote in. And we're going to close the poll in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and closing. Let me go ahead and share the results out here. 14% say yes. 71% say no, but we're tracking leads with spreadsheets or other forms. And another 14% say no, and we're really not managing or tracking sales leads. So it looks like the bulk of folks are not using a particular software system, but are at least trying to track leads with some form of either spreadsheet or manual efforts.
Well, that's it. We're going to talk about what data to track and the extreme benefit of not wasting time entering multiple data in multiple systems. The short answer in what data to track is actually anything you can and should use in the sales process. If you tell me you're a military guy and you play tennis and you have grandkids, and we might be talking about a facilities maintenance contract, or we might be talking about replacing all of the windows in your complexes because of energy efficiency or whatever the project is that we're talking about. Believe me, as the salesperson, I'm going to remember that you are a tennis fan, and come time of Wimbledon or US Open, I'm going to send you something about tennis. Or maybe I'm going to send you something about grandkids. If I've got grandkids, I might say, hey, go ahead and buy that express pass at Universal. Whatever it is that you're getting in terms of data, you want to use that to your benefit, and it's very much more easily done and effective and profitable if you've got a system to track that data in. Let's go ahead and, on that same subject, let's go ahead and push out question number 3. And because we were talking about a very critical thing, time. The elements of CRM system is saving time. Of course, when you save time, you save money, and then you make more money. So Andy, you want to push out the next question as well?
Absolutely. We'll launch that right now. Speaking of time, how much time do you spend entering leads or sales data into multiple locations or manipulating it to meet your needs? Either not much time at all, our systems are completely automated. Sometime we have to manually re-enter some data. Too much time, we're always having to re-enter or manipulate data. So 3 different choices there.
So that's great. Well, that's happening. I have this next slide up, but I want to talk about time, because one of the big benefits of having your CRM system interface with your ERP system is it's going to save you a tremendous amount of time. And you're going to see what's really a PERT diagram or a flow chart coming up here, and how you can not only push data into that, but also come back. So, Andy, what do you got for poll results?
Yeah, let me go ahead and close the poll so you can see your next slide as well and share that result out with you. The poll is closing, and here's the results of the poll. Nobody says not much time at all, so nobody's getting off scot-free there. 57% of people say sometime, and 43% of people say they're spending too much time. So there's always time involved in it.
Yeah, and so the time element is connected to the return on investment of the CRM. And one of the most common mistakes that companies make, especially construction companies maybe, is that they don't, they choose maybe what they think is the least expensive option instead of the most valuable or profitable option. So I hope people ask me for that ROI tool, because it's a spreadsheet. You can plug in your own numbers, whatever your own assumptions are and so forth, and then it'll tell you how much money you're losing. Now, there are other common mistakes to avoid. Some people call me brutal when I present this to them. I'm not trying to be brutal. I'm trying to be honest. And sometimes that truth hurts. But once you are aware of it, you can make the appropriate decisions. Accurate real-time information gives you the ability to make accurate real-time decisions. So you'll see on the screen here some of the common mistakes to avoid. Either you gave yourself too much credit for being able to implement, you thought your sales staff was really doing a great job. Sometimes you just didn't ask enough questions or the right ones. And then sometimes we see companies move forward with any piece of software, but the rest of the team was not involved in that decision, or maybe one decision maker made the decision instead of all the decision makers. So these are things to avoid. Okay, and they're not in any particular order, by the way. So let's move on. Profitable processes. I often say that the profit is in the process, because if you're trying to do things manually, man, it takes so much time. Let's say your person makes $100,000 an hour. $100,000 a year. That's about $50 an hour. So if over the next year that person has spent 10 hours entering data twice, or not to mention mistakes that were made, or losing track of information, you're talking about hundreds of dollars, and that's just one person with one company. And again, if you make $100,000 a year, you're making about $50 an hour. So putting the processes in place, which does take time, although it's much easier if you get an industry-specific system, but putting those processes in place really is critical to profitability. When you look at a CRM system, you have to have 3 things. You have to have some way to score or rate or prioritize. You have to know what stage they're in, like if they're a new lead or a pending proposal or whatever that stage is, and you have to know the source. So if I've got 20 deals on the table, and let's say those are 20 proposals out there, if I don't know which ones are pending, that's not really good. If I don't know where they came from, I can't go replicate that. So you got to know your formulas, because if I had 20 deals out there, 18 of which were not going to be very profitable, but 2 that came from, let's say, a radio ad, if those 2 were really profitable, then I know how to go replicate and repeat and build that formula to increase my sales. It's very hard to do manually. Now, next chart, this might look like a nuclear fission chart. It's so simple. It is what many companies are already doing today, even in a manual way. You have leads coming in from whatever source, and those could be all kinds of different sources. Then someone at the company is working those leads. Even if you just get 3 referrals a month, someone's dealing with them. And then you're pushing them over into the rest of your flow chart. Let's say you did a proposal, and then you found out, no, they're going to wait until Q1 of next year. Okay, well, then that's a status change, and that rolls back over here in the hopper. Or you push those proposals out, and then someone says, actually, our scope of work has changed. Okay, well, I got to get the new proposal out, and so forth. You're really doing this already, but if you're doing it manually, it's just so time-consuming, not to mention you're at risk for mistakes. One benefit, not that this is a sales presentation, but one benefit Top Builder Solutions has with Spectrum is that you have a bi-directional interface. So that means data can go from Top Builder over into Spectrum, and then it can come back from Spectrum so you can do warranty campaigns or other kinds of things. And again, I know that's very small. I'm sorry about that, but if you email me for the presentation, then you can expand it and look at it and analyze it and so forth. Let's talk about some of the real benefits of a CRM system. I can break this down into a long-winded list of all these things like properly capture and assign new leads and do all this stuff. But the truth is, the shortcut is, you have to use the CRM system, and it will save you money and time. Time is also money. You'll also get that continuity of messaging and imaging and branding, and ultimately more money for the salespeople, more money for the company, and really a better, happy life for everybody. But if you want a longer list of specific things like creating a workflow system and so forth, I'll send you a longer list. Okay. Now, some of you have told me that you have an online person. I talk to companies every day. Some of you say, gosh, I don't get hardly any leads and nobody comes to our website. I don't really have an online sales staff. Okay, fine. But others are saying, we do hundreds and hundreds of projects a year. They're coming through our website. We're losing track of them. And the person that's going out on site to get the proposal and engage that company is not really able to do a great job of managing all of those what are sort of intangible virtual leads. So you could separate your online and your on-site sales staff. We actually teach a class. It's an all-day class on this. So if you want more information on that, you can certainly contact us. You'll be seeing my email again. We actually teach a whole nother class on just lead management best practices, and I'm trying to throw it all in 30 minutes. So pardon me for talking fast. We've got a lot of content to give you. More information about that online and on-site sales process is not only in this presentation, but also in that Microsoft Word document. Okay, and just to keep going through that, there are some basics in terms of that workflow. Like, for example, would you want the online salesperson to see what the on-site salesperson is doing? How do you kick back a lead? Let's say the on-site person, didn't go through, or there was wrong information. How do you kick that back to the online person? So all of that we can help you with. Give us a shout if that online aspect is of interest to you. There are many, many dozens of questions. Okay, and now let's talk about the ways that a CRM system can help you communicate. There's basically 3 ways every CRM system should have. You've got to be able to send individual emails, right? So I'm looking at John Smith, I click a button, I send an email, I can say whatever I want. I better be able to link an image or auto signature and some other things. Of course, you want to send mass emails to groups, and you want to be able to easily separate your groups. Maybe I want to send one email to the Northwest Division, and I want to send another email to the Southeast Division because there could be topography, climate, all kinds of different issues in the Southeast as opposed to the Northwest, right? So you want to be able to separate and easily, without some marketing manager having to spend brain power to do it, you want to easily send mass emails. Now, the third one throws people a little bit, but it's probably the most profitable. A follow-up or drip campaign is an individual email going out to, let's say, John Smith, but it's going to match whatever life cycle stage that lead is in. So I might have one follow-up campaign that goes out to a web lead, a similar but different campaign that goes out to, let's say, a referral. And now if my salesperson has gone out there, maybe we've gotten an RFP, maybe we've put a proposal together, or maybe we've done the job and they're in warranty. All of those different stages would have different campaigns because really most of the companies we talk with, that sale is not a single source of revenue. You can get referrals from those sales, or that company might have additional opportunities or leads. So it's really a circle, right? So you get the lead, you do the sale, they're in warranty, you're still communicating because you want another lead to come in, and ultimately that will create that circle for you. Now, responses that work, this is highly variable to the company you're in and what you do and so forth, but the follow-up is not, it's not easy for a salesperson to call somebody 27 times over 24 months, right? That's a little bit much to ask of them. But your CRM system can certainly send an email every month or a newsletter or something out every month to stay engaged and in touch with those people over the long term. So what if your sales cycle was 2 years? Am I really suggesting that you could follow up with them for 2 years? Absolutely. The giants do. You can too. And I'm going to show you a couple of just quick examples of follow-up plans on this slide set. But almost all of those plans involve price, product, or promotion because you're trying to engage with them. But it doesn't always have to be about buy now, what about now, how about now, buy now. You could leverage all kinds of additional relevant content with them, just like me when I was talking about, I'm going to send that guy something about tennis, or I'm going to send that guy something about his grandkids. I don't have to say anything about buying software. I'm just making a personal connection point with him. And when he is ready to buy that software or has questions, I'm going to be top of mind. So now remember that email you see on the screen. You can email me for the companion document and the ROI tool. Now, here come those examples. So don't get scared when you see them. I'm not saying you have to do these. This is just one example. On day 720 in this example, an email goes out. The salesperson has long ago forgotten about these people. But you could change this. You could say day 120, 150, 180. You know, you can make it anything you want because you're leveraging the system to do it for you and telling the salesperson, okay, well, I expect you to make, 4 attempts at a phone call in the next month. Whatever that formula is for you. Here's a very small screenshot, but here's how we start formulas. I was doing this formula for a builder, and so we come up with, who's going to do what, when. It's going to be a phone call on day 1. Who's going to do that? The lead owner. Okay, and what are you going to say? And then there's an email. And what are you going to say in that email? When you package all of this process, then you can replicate it like fire. So yeah, it takes a little bit of time to put this out there, but once you go fast after that because the system will do a whole bunch of things for you. Now, I've got some critical steps not to miss. There's probably a lot more, but let's quickly do that 4th question, Andy, if you don't mind. How well is marketing going for your company? Let's pull up that 4th question because I will give some people some time to read all this stuff on the screen as well.
Absolutely. So, folks, here's our 4th poll question of the day. We have one more following this. But for this one, we have how well would you say your company does at marketing efforts centered around developing new sales leads? Very well, we do okay. Our marketing efforts often fall short of goals, or we're really not doing much in the way of marketing. So it looks like folks are voting now. We got about 70% in. So folks, will leave this open for another, about let's just say 5 seconds. If you haven't voted, get it in now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're going to close this poll. All right, sharing the results out now, folks. Nobody says that they do it very well. 67% say we do okay. 33% say our marketing efforts often fall short of goals. And nobody says they're not really doing much in the way of marketing because, well, let's face it, if you have any kind of successful business, you're probably doing at least some marketing somewhere. But the bulk of people say we do okay. Yeah.
Well, so that's great information, probably the most important question and the most important finding for all of us. The critical thing that I took from that is no one is doing very well, or no one is doing as well as they want, right? So if you as a business owner are doing okay and okay is good enough for you, everybody else can get out of the way. Nobody has to tell you what to do. It's their business. But if you want to do a better job, get more sales, make more money, raise your profit margins, things like this, then you really need a CRM system. And I know I sound like I'm some celebrity Family Feud person here, but the #1 critical step that people make, in my opinion, is they don't onboard their team before they onboard the software. You've got to get your people engaged and involved in it. After all, they're the ones that are going to be using the software. So once you have this formula, then you'll start to see your funnel. It's very difficult to have a really large bottom end of the funnel with a good flow of deals coming through unless you've got a really wide top end of the funnel with a bunch of stuff going on and leads coming in and processes and formulas and so forth. Now, that's just number one. Number 2 through 4, of course, if you get an industry-specific CRM system, you are many manpower hours ahead of the game. Go out and get Salesforce or Infusionsoft, which are world-class systems. Somebody has got to pay somebody to recreate that wheel and get all those processes in place. Now, I always tell, it's not always men that I talk to, sometimes it's women, but I say, guys, you should be able to know whether that CRM system is going to make you money without having to get your calculator out. If it costs, I don't know, $3,000 a year, $5,000 a year, whatever it costs, you should be able to have a gut feel that it's going to help you make money. Of course, our ROI tool makes it painfully obvious, but gut feel. And then your follow-up plans always need to have tasks that the salesperson's not going to do themselves, because ultimately the CRM is going to be the salesperson's best friend. Okay, we're almost done, and I'm almost out of time. Last slide, let's bring up question number 5. But folks, I just want to tell you that giant companies do this, they're succeeding. Small companies are doing it. CRM systems are easy, they're effective, they're affordable, and they are absolutely ultimately tied to your profitability. Andy, you got question 5 going?
Absolutely, I'll launch it right now. Last question for the poll today. Do you currently use email marketing or a newsletter to market your services? Either yes, we use both, yes, we use email marketing only, yes, newsletter only, or neither. So folks are voting now. And we got about 70% in. If you haven't gotten your vote in, get it in. We have in about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and closing this poll. Okay, sharing out the results. Nobody's using both. 60% of people say they're using email marketing only. Nobody is doing just the newsletter only, and the other 40% are using neither. So it looks like it's either email marketing or bust.
Yeah, that's the shame. That's the sad part about it, but it's the very normal part about it. As Andy said, I'm a strategist with software in the construction industry, and I'm just a real guy. And sometimes I'll talk to the folks and I'll say, look, if the truth is that you're not going to keep track of tasks and emails, and you just either through fear or just honesty are saying, I'm not going to do it, then one of the best ways you can still get some marketing prowess out there is to leverage content that other people have already written. So there's CRM systems out there with a newsletter, which has a whole library of articles, and you could spend literally 5 minutes a month merging their content in with your brand and pushing it out. So you can be honest with yourself and with me, and if you're one of those people that says, hey, I'm not going to do all that other stuff, I know I should, I know I make money, I'm blue in the face, but hey, point well taken, you can use a newsletter, and the last question just proved it, that 40% are doing neither one. So unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But the truth is you can win, you can level the playing field with your competition. In fact, you can outmaneuver your competition
use multiple tags for each contact. I send Christmas cards, winter products, mailers, material mailers, etc. So can you use tags in the CRM program?
Yeah, absolutely. And so the answer is yes. And that example that I gave you of like the guy's military, he's into tennis and he has grandkids, that's an example of that. When companies send us their spreadsheets of data that they have, because as you saw earlier, a lot of companies are using spreadsheets, and I feel sorry for them, but because it's laborious. When they send us that content, a lot of times they've got data that they don't really know where to put. And so we capture all of that data and centralize it into the CRM system. So yeah, it's a great question from Marianne. Thank you for asking that. And you want to keep every bit of information you've ever gathered from them, even if it's a user ID or anything. You want to keep it all in the system.
Perfect.
Any other questions?
Well, folks, I don't see any other questions here yet. Folks, I did want to address the audio issues real quick. I did get a notification from GoToMeeting that they are experiencing some audio issues, so I apologize for the background noise at times, or the kind of echoey sound that folks might be hearing. Hopefully that will go away. It looks like they're trying to restore it now. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and make Dave Knowles the presenter here. Dave is also with Top Builder Solutions. So Dave, I'm assuming you're online. Let me go ahead and make you presenter. So, second here. Okay, Dave, you're the presenter, sir. If you want to go ahead and share your screen. Folks,
yeah.
Feel free to stick around. Dave is going to do a quick little demonstration
of
Top Builder Solutions.
Yeah, can you see the application on your screen?
We can, Dave, yes.
Okay, yeah, since I have such a wide monitor, I just share the part that I want you to see instead of everything because it gets too wide. So, yeah, thanks, Andy, and thanks for that, Eric. What I'm going to show you guys real quickly is a CRM solution that is designed specifically for commercial contractors and commercial builders. We didn't talk about this at all during Eric's presentation because it was really, lead management best practices and, how to do a better job of converting your existing opportunities into customers without spending any more money. It was kind of the point that Eric is making, and that's what we do for you. Is we help you get more business out of the marketing dollars you currently spend, and maybe even help you save on that. And that's the whole point of Eric's discussion is maximizing your marketing dollars so that you're not overspending on marketing dollars and you're making the most out of what you spend. And that's where we come in with a solution. That is our goal for you. As a supplier of CRM software and lead management software, and everything we do is focused on that. So what we have here is the software itself, the CRM software itself. Since we didn't cover the features of the software, what I'll do is I'm going to run through real quickly at a very high level, and this is only going to be about 5 or 10 minutes. So if you want to see a full demo, reach out to Eric or reach out to us, and we'll set that up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the major features of the software, show you each menu option, each module very fast and at a high level, and that way you'll get an idea as to what's in the software and what's available in the software, but also you'll get an idea of how easy it is to use, which is a critical part of what we do. We feel that if it's difficult to use, you won't use it and you won't get the benefits. So I'll do that real quick, and then what I'll do is I'll circle back and I'll go into some detail on a couple of the modules, mainly the leads and the accounts, because we're also hooked up to the Dexter Cheney product Spectrum, which pulls in really good financial information and job history information, and we want to show you all the information that we capture on the leads, including the all-important follow-up, which is critical to making the most out of your marketing dollars. Is that follow-up system. So here we have the dashboard, and then from the dashboard, you'll notice our menu options never change. It doesn't matter where you go in the system, those menus are always available so that you don't have to figure out how to navigate through the software. It's always there, and it's always consistent. So we have the CRM module, and the CRM module allows you to manage leads or opportunities. If you're a Salesforce user, you may know that they use opportunities, leads, and then accounts, or backwards, and which we think is a little bit cumbersome. We just call things leads, and we give it a status. You can manage your accounts, and your accounts are anything from your customers, your prospects, your vendors. You may work with subcontractors, general contractors, any company that you do business with, you can set up as an account. You'll notice right here that it says this account was created from Spectrum. We have a data conversion or data import utility that we hook up to your ERP system like Spectrum. We bring in all customers, all your trades, all your vendors, everybody gets loaded in here, so you're up and running. You can manage tasks and contacts as well. We have an industry-specific newsletter. This becomes your newsletter. So when you sign up with us, you're going to get your own newsletter, and that newsletter will be branded. Top Choice Construction is our fake company that we create for demos, but if you can imagine that this would be your newsletter with links to your website and your branding, your social media pages, and then we write the articles for you, and then you can send them out to everybody in your database, whether they're customers or prospects or your vendors or whatever. And then we put a little promotional stuff at the bottom to tell everybody how awesome you are, which is a really good marketing tool. We have email marketing in here. So right from your database of prospects, customers, trades, vendors, you're able to blast out emails, and you can target those emails specifically to groups of people. So you can go in and maybe tell everybody about the successful projects that you have, as an example. We have calendar feature, we have reports, we have tools and utilities to help you do things like store documents, like your proposals, your bid sheets, legal statements that you want to attach to emails, and then we also have a nice help center which allows you to get help. You have how-to guides, we have videos, training, all this kind of stuff in the help center. Okay, so let's dive into a little bit of detail here. On the dashboard, you're able to see what your next steps are. You can see what the history is for these opportunities and what tasks are due. This is a demo account, so we have a lot of overdue tasks. Sorry for that, but you can just check them off, and they go into the history. But then what you can do is you can go drill down on one of those companies or one of those opportunities and say, all right, what's going on with that? And so for this opportunity, you have a lot of good information.
Just checking on you. I have a break on my conference call, so I'm just checking on you. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay, we've got some noise in the background there, but we've got the primary contact, and you can add additional contacts to that opportunity. So you may be, using a third party to come in and help you close the opportunity. Maybe it's somebody, a vendor or the product supplier. They can come in and you can add them to the opportunity. You have the details around that opportunity. Where is the job, and an assigned job number. And this is the follow-up plan. I'm going to come back to that in a second, and then the all-important history. You'll also be able to take notes. You'll be able to store documents and attach them to the opportunity, photos of the job site, inspection reports, a job estimate worksheet. You have job history. Now this comes from your ERP system like Spectrum, where you can see how many active jobs do I have with this customer and where do they stand. I have 14 active jobs, completed jobs, inactive jobs. This all comes in from your ERP system or your accounting system, and then you can look at this while you're working on this account or you're working on this opportunity and say, where do we stand with these guys? Are they awarding us the jobs? Are they just throwing us the opportunity to beat down our competition? You know, it's good information when you're working these opportunities. And then you can also bring in the financial history, which includes how much credit is available, you know, what does their balance due, you know, are they paying their bills on time? You know, obviously if they're not paying their bills on time or if they don't have any credit, you may not want to follow up on that opportunity. And then you have bid history, which comes from a bidding system, which summarizes how many bids you have outstanding with these folks and where they stand. Okay, so the neat thing about all this is, as you're working with your prospects or your opportunities, you have a follow-up plan, and that follow-up plan is based on the priority and the status. And so if you've got a new prospect and you're following up with them, you may submit a bid, and then once a bid is submitted, you'll see I get a whole new plan. That plan says the bid manager or the project manager on this opportunity needs to make sure they've received the bid. Did they have any questions? Send them a thank you email automatically. Thank you for the opportunity. Those kind of things. And then you may take that bid and you may say, oh, wow, it's awarded. And now you'll get a new plan. And that plan obviously says, okay, the bid has been awarded. We're going to send that information over to your accounting system like Spectrum. Log the information into the accounting system so that you can get going on that job. And then you can add tasks and activities as well. And then as Spectrum updates that job to complete, it'll automatically update Top Builder Solutions, and it'll say, oh, cool, we've got the job is complete. You get a new plan. You might want to follow up on that opportunity. You know, do a survey, send them a survey. You can automatically email them. If that's what this link is for here. You can ask for a referral. You can schedule a meeting to do a post-project review. You know your business much better than we do, of course, so you know what your steps should be. We definitely provide best practices, and we provide samples, but you can put all that information together. We'll help you set it up in the system, and then automatically your follow-up and your next steps change as you move them through the sales pipeline. And that's really the high-level summary. I spent a little bit more than 5 minutes, but if you want to see more information, reach out to us at topbuildersolutions.com, or Eric provided his information on the slides, and he'll send you the slides as well. And we'd love to set up a demo or a conference call with you. Okay? Questions?
All right. Well, thank you, Dave. Folks, if you have any questions, we'll leave the webinar up. I know we're coming close to the top of the hour, but if you have any quick questions for Dave, go ahead and type them into the control panel box here. Here's one question. Can you print labels from the CRM?
Yes, that is a lovely question. Under our reports, we have mailing labels, and those mailing labels are exactly what they appear to be. You can print mailing labels. We even tell you exactly what kind of label to buy. So short answer to that is yes, and you can see it right here.
Okay, perfect. Another question here, can Top Builder talk or tie in with Spectrum? And I can take that from just the initial, and I'll turn over to Dave. Yes, we have a bidirectional integration right now between Top Builder and Spectrum, which allows that. Dave, do you want to expand on that a little bit more?
Yeah, I'd love to, because this is a really, really nice feature of both our systems. As Andy said, it is a bidirectional interface, and that interface, what it will do, I'll show it to you. I've got to go back into my leads. What it will do for you is, let's say you have a new customer. They come in, and it's Albert Bell Construction. Construction is a prospect at this point. Let's say you go through the bidding process with them, and they said yes, they sign a contract, and they come in, and you set them to status of job awarded. Well, since that's a new customer that doesn't exist in Spectrum yet, we send that over to Spectrum. It creates the customer in Spectrum. It gives them the Spectrum customer code, and then it also adds the contacts for that account or for that customer in Spectrum. So then in Spectrum, you'll have the customer, all the contact information, you'll have their phone, their email, their address information, and you'll even know who the primary contact point is for those projects. Now, in Spectrum, when you're working in Spectrum, and here's where the bidirectional piece comes in, you set that job to complete. You know, the job started. In Spectrum, you'll set it to complete. So from an accounting standpoint, you'll probably send them their final bill. Then when the job is complete, it comes back and updates Top Builder and sets their status to job completed. And then the follow-up plan automatically changes from that interface. Now that's just the surface of all this. From Spectrum, we also pull in invoice history, financial history, their balances, job history. We summarize job history by whether it's active, completed, or inactive. All that comes from Spectrum. Now finally, and probably not really finally because we're going to continue to enhance this interface, we have a data import and a data conversion program that connects to Spectrum, and it pulls in all of your customers, all of your contacts, job history, financial history, and I'm going to share. I'm going to try to share. I don't know how to do this. Oh, let me try this real quick. I'm going to share my screen, and I will show you at top. Can you guys see this? Our website.
Yes, we can, Dave.
Okay, so if you go to our website, we have a video right here, Top Builder Solutions Spectrum interface, that demonstrates all this for you live. So if you click on this, you'll actually see the live interface, and we walk you through, you know, creating a new customer, creating a new job, sending it over to Spectrum, logging into Spectrum, changing the job status to complete. All that is in this 9-minute or 10-minute video, and you're welcome to watch that. And of course, if you have any questions, we're happy to answer it, and if you want to see a live demo, we'll do that too.
Another follow-up question. I think you might have touched on this, Dave. So does that mean that all the financial history and job history is being pulled from some other PM system or otherwise being entered manually?
No, it's not being pulled manually. It's integrated in from our interface.
That's correct. And from our side of the Spectrum too, when we're pulling stuff in from Top Builder, that integrates all throughout Spectrum. So the different areas of functionality through Spectrum, you'll be able to find that customer information attached to different things like the different projects or jobs or financials as well.
Correct.
Another question here: can you send a newsletter or emails to all contacts within an account, or is the main contact the only person you can communicate with via email and newsletter?
No, you can target your emails and your newsletters. I'll show you real quick. So I'm going to pretend like I'm building a new email, or I'm going to send out an update. We walk you through very simple 6 steps. You can pick a template or pick a layout to start from. And then on step number 3, this is where you target your email or your newsletter. So what you can do is you can go in and say, well, look, I just want this to go to these contacts for Albert Bell, and then boom, you've got all their contacts. And let's say you don't really want to bother the CEO, you can uncheck him or her and remove them. So I hope that answers your question, but this is how you can target it. And then if you want to build on top of this, you could say, well, I want Albert Bell, and I also want Albert Cross, well, we don't have any contacts for them, but you can build your list from here. So I now have 7 on my distribution list. I'm going to add 1 more. Boom, now I have 8. And then you enter your content, preview it, and then send it or schedule it to go out. So I can send it now, or I can schedule it to go out sometime in the future. Pretty cool.
Excellent. Folks, I'm not seeing any other questions, and we are reaching the top of the hour. I know folks have other meetings and stuff coming up pretty soon, so I do want to thank everybody for joining us today, taking the time out of your busy schedules. Dave, Eric, any last things to say to the folks still on the webinar here?
No, thank you.
Just thank you very much. And
right.
I just want to say thank you to Dexter Cheney. You and Scott and the other guys have been very great, and we appreciate the opportunity to have this webinar.
Oh, well, thank you. It's been a pleasure working with you guys as well. So, folks, we're going to I'll leave the webinar open for just a few, maybe another 60 seconds or so. We will be following up with folks from our side, or the Dexter and Cheney side, pretty shortly, either by end of day today or first thing tomorrow, to see if you want a copy of the recording or have any additional questions that you want to ask. And then I believe the Top Builder folks, Dave and Eric here, might be reaching out, I think, maybe early next week. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, or tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. So, folks, we'll leave this open for about another 20 seconds or so, and then we'll close out. So thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day.